Aquí grabamos. Estamos grabando. We are recording. Ok. Muy buenos días. ¿Cómo están todos? ¿Están bien?
Bien.
Bien.
¿Están bien? Magnífico. Bueno, feliz lunes. Happy Monday. Feliz lunes. Vamos a practicar con muchísimas cosas. We're going to practice lots of things. So I'm going to start class with a reminder of things you'll want to have handy on hand. You'll need some crummy, I don't need this, I can throw this away, piece of scratch paper and something to draw with. And we're talking draw with like stick figure quality drawing. You know, you're not going to show this drawing to anybody. This drawing is for you to compare your understanding of location. Yeah. So you need something, scratch paper, just to draw with when we get to that. It's a listening comprehension activity. So you'll need to have that on hand. ¿Qué más? ¿Dónde está? I think that might be the only. Yes, el único, the only thing there that you will need. Okay. Bien, vamos a practicar muchísimo. Con esas palabras muy pequeñas, que tienen que ver con posiciones en el espacio. Space, ¿sí? Posiciones en el espacio. Y esas palabras muy pequeñas, these very, very tiny words, are called prepositions. Preposiciones. Entonces, vamos a tener un ejercicio de calentar. We're going to have a warm-up thing. The most sophisticated verb you really need is probably estar and tener para hoy, for today, because, you know, these are the ones you're going to hear the most. So, vamos a repasar. Now, the difficult thing is that prepositions are teeny tiny words and they tell us many things, and they're used, Spanish, sadly, they're used in many complicated ways. So we're not using the complicated ways now. We're using the easy ways. And the easy ways are that these prepositions tell you where things are in space. La posición de las cosas en el espacio. Where they're located. That is the easiest thing about prepositions of place. Prepositions do have many uses in Spanish in particular, actually in English too. In English, prepositions can be used in what they now call, I don't think they did this when we were in school, you and most about, it was used for something called phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs means verbs that don't convey the whole meaning with only one word. Like, that ticks me off. Or to send off, to take care of. Yeah. Those are the complicated uses. So we're not doing that. We're doing the easy spatial uses. And furthermore, even when we get into that, you know, sadly, there are many kind of little, like there are a lot of ways to say next to, you know, more than one preposition might be used. So para que sepan, we still have some folks coming in. Good thing we're doing warm up. So you can see this, pueden ver, sí. Preposiciones de lugar. Lugar es place. Lugar, ¿ok? Preposición, aquí dice preposiciones de lugar. Ok, dentro de, sí, vale, sí. Junto a, junto. And the way you can remember this word, if you know what a military junta is, it's a group of military leaders who govern a country together. Yeah, kind of autocratic thing. Well, that comes into our language from Spanish. Junto, it means people are together. So junto, next to. People might use al lado de instead of junto a. And you'll notice these are phrases. You most of the time, you're going to hear these words paired up together in little short phrases. Junto a, sobre, on top of. You can use en often in much the same way. There are some exceptions, but usually you can. Debajo de, under, sí. Fuera de, outside of, enfrente de, and you may hear people using this other word that also means in front of. Delante de, delante de. They mean the same thing. Why do people use one and not the other? Ni idea. I have no idea, but people do. Just know there are synonyms, words that mean the same thing. Detrás de, behind or in back of, okay. Encima de, over, de, en medio de, and instead of en medio de, you may very frequently hear entre, E-N-T-R-E, E-N-T-R-E, entre. Entre means the exact same thing as en medio de. En medio de looks more like the English in the middle of, literally, but entre also means between. Okay, a ver, so there is your little visual warm up. We're going to take a look at did you all have fun with the matchup on this? I sent you this, see?
No,
No.
Oh,
no,
no. Okay,
no.
let's do it. Vamos a ver, vamos a ver. Okay, vale. Here's another little warm up. Let's, and there are tons of these position words, right? Let's find some easy and obvious things. Let's see what you can find. We've got to the right of, to this, and here we're just matching up. So we're not, you know.
Derecho,
A la
derecho de.
derecha, to the right of, a la
A la
derecha.
derecha.
And look at that, we've got four little words that, now, it might just be a la derecha by itself, but a la derecha de, I need that little word de when I say what it's to the right of.
Al lado de.
So, okay, to the side of, al lado de, gracias, sí, al lado de, on top of.
Sobre.
Encima.
Encima de.
Encima de, okay, vale, sí. Ooh, this one's hard. And some of you don't know this word. This is a word that means straight ahead, like if people are giving you directions on the street.
Derecho.
Arriba.
Derecho.
This word is
Derecho.
derecho.
Oh.
And I want you to look at the first one and this middle one. When people give you directions for getting to someplace on the street, you're lost. Yeah. And you don't know how to get there. Look at how little difference there is between the word derecha and derecho. And they have two vastly different meanings. A la derecha is to the right, but derecho with an o at the end means dead ahead, straight ahead. So cuidado, careful with that one. We're not going to be using derecho in our practice today, but I picked this because it's like, we have that word, muy útil, very, very useful. If you write down an address in desperation, you know, and you need direction, ¿dónde está? ¿Dónde está? You ask that somebody on the street that you don't know him from Adam, ¿dónde está? And you point to this address and they go, siga derecho, siga derecho. They're not telling you turn left. Siga derecho means keep going straight. Okay, so derecho es una palabra importante. It is kind of, yeah, it is kind of a preposition, but it's more a directional word. Okay, underneath. underneath.
Debajo de.
Debajo de.
Debajo de, debajo de. Now, debajo de is easy to remember because if you know that bajo means short, bajo by itself, that word, that partial word, bajo, tells you which direction it's going. Right? So debajo de is underneath. Up. Oh, here's another word we didn't really give you in last.
Arriba.
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 Arriba. Those of you who are old enough to remember Speedy Gonzalez cartoons as a little kid, Speedy Gonzalez, the wonderful little mouse UCL. Arriba, arriba, ándale, ándale. Yeah, arriba, arriba. Arriba, arriba. Up and at 'em is arriba, ándale. Okay, up and at 'em. Arriba, up, up. Okay. Not above, but up. Okay. Okay. Near.
Cerca de.
Cerca de.
Cerca de. And you're often going to hear it as that combination of cerca de. You may hear it as cerca by itself. You may hear it as cerca de. Guys, whenever we name the thing it is near, we need that little word de. I'm going to show you two examples of using these words without the word de and with the word de. And it's a minor change, but, oh, again, lo mismo. You give somebody this address, you in desperation write down this address to somebody, calle, Calle del Este. You in desperation show somebody this address because you know you don't know much Spanish. ¿Dónde está? ¿Dónde está? Because you figure pointing and you knowing ¿dónde está, that'll get you by, right? And that will get you by. And somebody says, ah, es fácil, it's easy, es fácil, está cerca. Está cerca just means it's
Near.
nearby. But, and I can just leave cerca by itself, kind of naked, just the cerca. Está cerca, it's near. But if I say it's near the pharmacy. Now, if I add something on next to near, it's near the pharmacy. If I name the place it is near, now I need de to come in with cerca. Está cerca de la farmacia. Even saying está cerca de aquí. It is near here. Anytime I name a place after near, I need that little word de to pair up. I'm going to show you another example of when we need the de. Somebody says, ¿Dónde está el kiosco? Where is the kiosk? You know, there's something posted on a kiosk and you need to find that. ¿Dónde está el kiosco? Oh, está a la derecha. Está a la derecha. It's to the
Right.
right. But if I tell what it's to the right of, I need to sub in that extra word de. Está a la derecha del banco. It's next to the bench. Okay. Está a la derecha de la tienda. It's to the right of the store.
Okay.
When I name the place, it's to near the place it's next to. The place is to the right of. When I name an extra place, I need that little word de to sub in with that preposition word. Entienden? Understand? So you may hear these words by themselves kind of naked, but you know, when I need cerca de, when I name a new place, it's near this place. It's near these people. It's near this thing. Okay, to the left of.
A la izquierda de.
A la izquierda de. And a lot of people get scared with this long word, izquierda. And break it up into three parts.
Izquierda.
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 Izquierda. A la izquierda de. When you hear somebody say it, it will all run together. A la izquierda de. Nobody's going to stop and say, la izquierda de. No, it's going to all run together. A la izquierda de.
A la izquierda de.
Perfecto, perfecto. Outside of.
Afuera de.
Afuera de. Inside of.
Dentro de.
Dentro de.
Adentro de. You may hear that as dentro de instead without the a on the front. Okay. Behind.
Detrás de.
Detrás de. Detrás de. Detrás de. Okay. On.
Sobre.
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 Well, it
En.
might be en, it might be sobre, right? In or at, more likely en. En can mean in or at. And it depends, depende. So at home, en casa. En casa. At home. En la casa, in the house. Okay, in the house. Okay, above.
Sobre.
Encima.
Sobre.
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 You know, sobre and encima are pretty interchangeable. Okay, between.
Entre.
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 I think you hear entre more than en medio de, like you saw in that pictorial representation. Es mi opinión. Entre es más común. Entre. And intermission is between two acts of a play or a show, right? So intermission, entre, in between. Far.
Lejos.
Lejos de. Lejos de.
Lejos de, and in front of.
Delante de.
Delante de. And delante de you may hear as enfrente de, you may. Depende, it depends.
Enfrente
So
de.
you might hear it as enfrente de, you might hear it as delante de. No importa, does not matter. They are interchangeable. And again, lejos you may hear used without that word de. You again show the little address to somebody in desperation. ¿Dónde está? ¿Dónde está? Where is it? They might say, está lejos. It is far, but they're not saying what it's far from. Está lejos de aquí. Yeah.
Sí.
So in other words, está lejos aquí, you'll never hear. Está lejos de aquí. Está lejos del hotel. It's far from the hotel. Okay. Está lejos de la ciudad. It is far from the city. Whenever I name what it's far from, I need that little extra word de. ¿Entienden? ¿Entienden? Understand?
Sí.
Sí. Vale,
Sí.
magnífico. Okay.
I have a question.
Vale. Sí, dime.
You know, most of this stuff here, you have to use like a de, like delante de, detrás de. So except like junto you use a.
Oh,
How about
yes.
the arriba?
Arriba, usually you hear alone. Yeah, usually just by itself.
By
Arriba,
itself?
arriba, yeah. Arriba just means up there. It's not really on top of anything. It's just up instead of going up instead of going down. Not going under, yeah.
Okay.
Arriba is just up, not
Okay.
above. Sí. Cindy, dime.
In the slide, they had enfrente de /a.
Sometimes, qué buena pregunta, gracias. Sometimes you hear people use the term frente a. Frente a means in front of, but kind of in the way we would say facing. Facing. So frente a is facing is in front of something, right? Yeah.
Thank you.
Frente a. Yeah, so you see why, yeah, you know, I could give you a list of 50. Are you gonna remember them all? 50?
No.
Serious? No, nobody's gonna remember that. Hay que practicar, yeah, you gotta practice, hay que practicar. Okay, vamos a ver. Let's take a look. Okay, I'm gonna go on share screen again. We're gonna take a quick look at this stuff. And the reason this page was great was that, you know, it gave you little snippets of audio. If you did not notice that before, go back to this page here that started with this.
Oh, we didn't see it.
Because in between this and the homework section, it had all kinds of
Oh.
little short audio clips. So if you didn't listen to that, no se preocupen, don't worry. But go back again, and I'll put this link in the email after class. Go back and listen to each, because you have nice little short, manageable snippets. Okay, a ver, let's take a look at aún muy abajo, really, really, really way below. We're going to take a look at, uy, ¿dónde? Oh, no, incorrecto. I don't have my page. I need to get my page.
Okay.
Ooh.
I did that, but it's because I didn't use the accent thing, like, you know, the Spanish accent. So then,
Oh, the accent marks,
yes, they marked me wrong.
they ding you. Well, okay, but see, you know why, so don't, yeah. So we won't have a conniption fit over it. Okay. La casa y las preposiciones de lugar. Okay, house. So observe, 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 take a look at, observe, observe las imágenes, observe the images de estas habitaciones y luego resuelva los ejercicios al respecto usando preposiciones de lugar en español. Wow, okay, observe the images of these rooms, these rooms, yeah, and later solve the exercises using prepositions of place. Okay, so, and they give you an either or. Oh, el gato está, we either need encima de or debajo del sofá.
Encima de.
Está encima del sofá. Will not let me highlight it. Sí, correcto, correcto. El gato está encima del sofá. He's on top of the sofa. Los libros
Sobre el estante.
sobre el estante. Sobre, estante is a shelf. Los libros están sobre el estante. They're also on top of. So you see a sobre and encima don't really convey a whole lot different idea. But we couldn't use junto al estante. They're not next to the shelves. They're on the shelves, okay?
Marilyn,
Sí.
I thought juntos is also used for together. So I thought books are together on the shelf.
Oh, okay, okay. See, and you see the muddy thing that is prepositions. Yeah, you might have interpreted that. Están, oh, I could say los libros están juntos. The books are together. Yes,
Okay.
Yeah, sí, entiendo, I understand. Okay, la almohada. Almohada means a pillow. La almohada negra. Ooh, now we have a specific.
Black.
Sí, the black pillow. La almohada negra está
Sobre
sobre el sofá. It's on the sofa. La planta pequeña. Uy, hay
Yes.
dos plantas.
That's confused me, this one, number 4. is
La
Arriba?
planta pequeña, they want the small
Small
plant.
plant.
Yeah.
Ah,
planta
la
pequeña.
planta pequeña está.
Arriba.
Then
No,
Yeah,
no,
It's
no,
not
no.
arriba.
Here,
dentro.
here they did use that
Arriba.
word arriba, up, yeah, up.
I don't
I don't
get
like,
that.
I don't like that too much. I would
Yeah.
say en, I would say sobre, okay. Es mi
don't-
opinión,
I
yeah.
don't get it.
Because I don't like that example. I'll be honest with you, because it obviously is not inside of the shelf.
No.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't.
But it's
even
not
use that.
above the shelf too. It's not above the shelf.
Yeah, you
right?
know, arriba is really up. I wouldn't even use that. So, okay, throw that out. Not, I don't like that. I don't like that example. A mí no me gusta. A mí no me gusta. A mí no me gusta. I don't like it so much. Let's throw
Replace
that
it
one out.
with replace it with N.
Yeah, I would use en, right, or sobre, either way,
No tampoco.
or encima.
Yeah.
Encima would be okay.
Encima de.
Okay, vale. La planta grande. La planta grande. La planta grande está
Junto.
junto al sofá. Junto al sofá. Now, para que sepan, so that you know, it is equally correct to say, la planta grande está al lado del sofá.
A un lado.
Equally
Yeah.
correct. Somebody would totally understand you. La planta grande está al lado del sofá, está junto al sofá, son iguales. Ok. El sofá está
Debajo.
en relación con la ventana. Con la
Debajo.
ventana.
Bajo.
Ok. El sofá está debajo de la ventana. It's under the window. Certainly encima wouldn't make any sense, would it? Okay. El sofá grande, todavía está el sofá. El sofá grande está, and we're talking about it,
En medio.
Encima de la.
En medio.
en medio de la
de la
planta y
planta.
el librero. Yeah. I would use entre. I prefer to use entre instead of en medio de, but you may hear somebody use en medio de. Okay. Different regions may throw in different kinds of words. Okay. Y el último, the last one, el último. Hay otras cosas
Dentro del librero.
dentro
de la
del librero, dentro del librero. There are other things on the bookshelves. Okay.
Oh,
And
I thought it was
estante.
other things on to the right of the
Inside,
picture.
yeah.
Outside the picture.
De la derecha, gracias, sí. Sí. Librero, this is a more like a closed bookcase. That's why they're calling a librero.
It was a weird question.
See, that is a weird question. Well, you see the sticky thing that is prepositions, don't you? It's all relative, isn't it?
Because it says to the right.
That is also not the greatest constructive
Not a good
question.
sense.
We don't like it.
And we don't like it, and we don't have,
No
no
gusto.
nos gusta, no nos gusta.
No me gusta.
Okay, but most of the examples made some sense. Okay, aquí, otra foto, otro dibujo, another drawing, okay, completa las oraciones. Es más difícil. This one's harder because you have to supply something. It isn't an either this or that choice, okay? Bien, tenemos una cama, cortinas, una ventana, dos cuadros, una pizarra, little chalkboard, una alfombra, juguetes, toys, una silla. Okay, vamos a ver, let's see. La pizarra, this is la pizarra, chalkboard. La pizarra está
En la pared.
Sobre.
en la
Sobre.
pared.
En
En
la
la pared is really the easiest thing.
En la.
En la pared is more appropriate than sobre la
sobre.
pared.
Oh, it should be N.
En makes more sense.
This is on the wall. Right?
And makes more sense. And I'm going to show you another example of some minor differences you might get between sobre and en sometimes. Okay, we'll come back to that later. Hay una planta and gavetero is a cabinet.
Sombre.
Encima,
Sobre.
encima del.
You can use either sobre,
Encima del.
Encima.
but here it's probably going to be encima
Del.
del. Here probably will be encima del because we
Del.
have that little word del. Sobre doesn't
Gavetero.
have any little de word it pairs up with.
Yeah.
Sobre is always by itself.
Mm.
So you could say, hay una planta sobre el, but not del, sobre el gavetero. But because we've got a little del, it really
Encima.
more properly will be encima del gavetero, only because of that little word del. That is the teeniest, tiniest clue. But if you take out the D from the del, you could say sobre. Okay, ¿vale? Sí?
Sí.
Sí.
Okay.
Eh,
La silla blanca está
Debajo.
Bajos.
debajo,
Pizarra.
debajo de la pizarra.
Debajo.
Debajo de la pizarra. Está debajo de, it's under the little chalkboard. Está debajo de la pizarra.
It's not de bajos.
No,
Mm-mm.
There's no S?
no S, no S, no. Debajos, no.
Okay,
You never hear that with an S
okay.
at the end of it.
This is another word that ends with A, but it uses the L.
Are you talking about the de la pizarra part?
Al.
Yeah. So, oh, that, oh. I
De
thought-
la pizarra has to be de la, it cannot be del. Del is a combination of de and
De
el
and
right
el.
next to each other. So we smash them together. But
But I-
because pizarra is a feminine thing, it's de la pizarra.
Yeah, okay, okay.
¿Bien? ¿Sí?
Okay.
Bueno. Número 4. El cuadro azul. That's kind of confusing. The
This is
blue
a weird
picture. That's a
question.
confusing question.
Yeah.
Oh no, azul marino.
Azul
Azul marino is navy blue.
Navy
That's navy blue. I think they're talking about.
Oh,
Yeah. El cuadro azul marino, which is like navy blue, en la pared on the wall,
no.
está, and they're
Junto,
talking about a light blue. Está
Junto.
Punto.
junto. Oh, there are a couple things you could use.
Al
Junto
lado de,
al,
A la derecha.
A la izquierda, a la
or a la izquierda.
A la
That also
izquierda.
makes sense. A la izquierda de also makes sense. Or al lado de also makes
de.
sense.
Mhm.
Which one is more specific? Junto a, al lado a, or a la izquierda de?
a la
Izquierda.
izquierda de.
Izquierda de.
That's the most specific.
Yeah.
A la izquierda de.
Mhm.
Al lado de might be either side, right? Next
Yeah.
to.
Next to-
Okay. Bien. A ver. Los carritos de juguete están. So the little toys, the car toys.
Sobre. Sobre.
Encima el.
Ah,
Encima el.
sí, los carritos están
Encima el.
En el
en
suelo,
el suelo would be the
Yeah.
most common. En el
En.
suelo, on the
En.
floor.
on the ground. On the
On the
floor.
floor, on the ground, on the floor, en el suelo, on the floor. Could you use sobre? Well, you could, but really the easiest, the most commonly used will be en el suelo,
Mm.
on the floor. En el suelo,
And the
Okay.
suelo.
en el suelo, en el suelo. That's the simplest construction. Okay.
Suelo.
El gavetero, it's a way of saying a little chest of drawers. El gavetero está, and we're talking about that in relation to la
Entre.
cama y la silla
Yeah,
blanca.
entre de.
Encima.
Entre.
Entre.
De.
El gavetero está entre
Entre de.
la cama y la silla blanca. Entre.
Entre.
En medio de works, but entre, muy común, muy común. Entre, está entre. It's in between. In between. Okay. La alfombra está, and we're talking about that in relation to al gavetero. La-
Enfrente de.
Mhm.
Enfrente
Enfrente.
del gavetero, or you can equally correctly use delante del gavetero. Delante del gavetero o enfrente del gavetero son iguales. Enfrente de, delante de, iguales. Ok. A ver, y por fin, los dos bloques, the two blocks, and where they are in relation to carrito de juguete.
A la
Carrito
derecha de.
Mm.
A la derecha de.
están a la derecha de. A la derecha de would be the most specific.
Carrito de
but
frente.
al lado de also works. Or, well, we can't use
O
junto
cerca.
a.
How about cerca?
We could use cerca. Sí. Gracias,
Yeah.
Danita. Sí, podemos decir, los dos bloques están cerca del carrito de juguetes. Sí. Igual. So you see, it is kind of a thorny issue, isn't it? Right? We might use different kinds of prepositions to express different ideas. Es normal. It is really, really normal. Okay. A ver. I gave you last week, we're going to be coming close to our listening comprehension drill pretty soon. So last week, and I'll include this again in this week's email, preposiciones de lugar, and we gave you a long list of many possible things you might use, okay? A la izquierda de, a la derecha de, encima de. I should have underlined my sobre. Sobre, on top of, debajo de, junto a, al lado de, detrás de, enfrente de, delante de, cerca de, lejos de, entre or en medio de, fuera de, dentro de. Okay, and we had used this to go out into small group rooms. Well, for right now, and of course you can keep that up if you would like the cheat sheet with all of the words, that works. What I am going to do is, first of all, we're going to have a real short mini lesson. Ooh, Trish, okay. I want to show you something about the difference that might happen between en and sobre. Y tengo que demostrar. I have to demonstrate. Okay. Tenemos el libro y el celular, ¿sí? Tengo un celular y un libro. ¿Dónde está el celular?
Encima de.
Sobre el libro.
I could say está sobre el libro. I can say está
Encima.
encima del libro. Can I say el celular está en el libro?
Sí.
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 Yeah.
Well,
No, no.
No?
No.
it's gonna change
It
the
is
meaning a
not.
little bit. El celular
Oh.
está en el libro.
In the.
Dentro de.
Inside.
In
El
the.
celular está en el libro might mean that,
Oh.
or it might mean the word el celular está en el libro.
Ajá.
Look at the thorny thing that prepositions are or can be. So cuidado, careful, because sometimes when I talk about and it might actually be physically inside or the word in this case, yeah. Entonces, cuidado, porque podemos a veces, sometimes, a veces podemos interpretar, ¿sí? Una palabra en más de una manera. Sometimes we can interpret things in more than one way. So cuidado, careful with that a little bit. Okay, we're going to go back, however, to simple things with preposiciones. Okay, I'm going to show you one page. We're going to see if we can figure this out. Claro que sí. Of course, you're going to be able to figure this out. And then we're going to have our listening comprehension in 5 minutos, 5 minutes from now. Ok, a ver. Algo fácil, fácil, fácil. Y una demostración. ¿Dónde está la pelota? Where is the ball? La pelota. ¿Dónde está la pelota? ¿Está sobre el cubo? ¿Está encima del cubo? Cube. ¿Ya? ¿Está debajo del cubo?
Mhm.
¿Sí? ¿Está a la izquierda del cubo?
Mhm.
¿Está a la derecha del cubo? ¿Está delante del cubo? Or I could say enfrente del cubo. Igual. ¿Está detrás del cubo? It's
Detrás,
behind the
behind.
cube.
Behind
Okay. ¿Está dentro del cubo? It's inside of, or está en el cubo. I might be able to use either term. Está fuera del cubo. It's outside of
The box.
the cube.
Cube.
Yeah. Okay. A ver, momentito.
Pregunta,
Sí, 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 dime.
do you always have the word del before the masculine noun?
Del is a combination of de and el. So when I have del cubo of the cube, inside of the cube, outside of the cube, because it's el cubo, and I've got de and el next to each other, it has to become de.
But if
If
it was a,
If instead of cubo, Bill, if instead of the word cubo, I use the word caja, a box, which is feminine, it would be de la caja.
okay,
And I could not say del caja. Because caja es femenina, ¿sí?
sí,
¿Sí?
thank you.
¿Entiendes? Make sense?
Yes, sí,
Magnífico. Ok. A ver. Bueno, vamos a ver. Forma la frase contraria. Form the opposite. Contrary is the opposite thing. La oficina está a la derecha. La oficina está
A la izquierda.
A la
Izquierda.
a la
izquierda.
izquierda. And notice I don't need de because I don't say what it's to the left of. I just say it's to the left. Está a la izquierda. ¿Sí? Bien? Okay. Because you do need to see every now and then. Sometimes we use de, sometimes we do not, right? El libro está debajo de la mesa. El libro está
Encima.
Encima de,
Sobre.
encima de la mesa, or you can just say sobre la mesa, either one.
Or
Está
en.
encima de, o en la mesa, sí, just en la mesa, sí. That works too, okay? Which one will somebody use? What they feel like. Oh, I know, it's sad, isn't it? It's sad. You have to be prepared for, could be either está en la mesa, está sobre la mesa, está encima de la mesa. You got to be prepared to hear any of them. Okay.
it's good to have option.
Yeah, sí. La bicicleta está dentro del garaje,
Fuera.
Fuera.
fuera del garaje,
Fuera.
fuera del garaje.
Del garage.
It's outside of the garage. And here is why you have seen a video that spells garage with G-A-R-A-G-E, and you'll also see it can be spelled with J-E. Que confusión, what confusion. Well, that's just the way that word is. Garaje can be spelled with 2 G's or a G and a J. No importa, that doesn't matter. It sounds the same. Okay. La estatua está delante del museo. Delante del museo. Detrás del
Detrás
museo.
de.
Bien, ok. El diccionario está sobre el cuaderno. Cuaderno es notebook. Está sobre el cuaderno.
Debajo de.
Debajo de.
Debajo del cuaderno. It's under the notebook. You need debajo del
Del.
cuaderno. Bill, here comes del. Debajo del cuaderno, ¿sí? Debajo del cuaderno. Cuaderno is masculino. There's a masculine word. Okay. And now we've got a follow-up, Bill. So look at this. We've got a la word, la calle, street. El hotel está a la izquierda de la calle. It's to the left of the
Derecha.
street.
A la
Derecha.
derecha.
De la
A la
calle.
derecha. A la derecha de la
Derecha
calle.
del-
A la
Perfecto.
derecha de la
El
calle.
El documento está debajo del libro.
Encima del
Encima de.
Encima.
There are many things we might use. Está encima del libro. Está
Sobre.
sobre
El libro.
el libro. If you say en el libro, it's probably gonna be more like this meaning,
Yes,
guys. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Instead of this. Para que sepan, just so you know. Okay. Sometimes you can see, sometimes you need to visually see something. You're going to see that later on. When we're going to take something with the here words later on. It gets here and there. It gets more confusing yet. Okay. Ocho, número 8. La pelota está dentro
Fuera.
del armario. Armario es closet.
Where?
Está
Fuera de.
del
Fuera del
Fuera
armario. Fuera del armario. Bien. El dinero, the money, el dinero está detrás de la foto. Why would you put that?
Enfrente de.
Enfrente de la
de.
foto. Oh, okay, yeah. Understand. Sí.
delante.
Detrás de,
de la foto.
delante de o enfrente de. Delante de igual, frente de igual. Same thing. El cuadro, the picture. El cuadro está a la derecha de la puerta.
A la
la
izquierda
izquierda.
del.
A la izquierda de la
De
puerta.
la
Bien.
puerta.
El gato, miau miau, el gato está encima de la silla,
Debajo.
Debajo de.
debajo de la silla. Y por fin, la ventana, the window, la ventana está a la izquierda del salón,
Derecha.
al lado derecho.
a la derecha
Derecha.
Derecha.
del salón. Perfecto. Ok, vale, bien. ¿Alguna pregunta? Any question on that? Little opposites? Hicieron bien. You did well. Okay. We're going to take a moment to do a little listening exercise. And after that, whatever you prepared for speaking, I'm going to send you into little breakout rooms to talk about. And I'll try to pop into as many of the breakout rooms as we can. So I'm going to remind you, we're going to be doing 2 things. Okay, the first thing is you just need your crummy piece of throwaway paper, scratch paper. You're going to just sketch stuff. Whoops, you're going to sketch stuff. Nobody's going to be evaluating your artwork. Ustedes no son estudiantes. Ustedes no son artistas. A mí no me importa. It doesn't matter to me. O quizás ustedes sí son artistas. Maybe you are artists. Do not take painstaking care. This is just to show where stuff is. You're going to need that. And whatever you prepped, and if you're a new person and you didn't prep this, just go with the flow. We're going to send you, after this listening skill, we're going to have you talk in smaller groups. I'll send you to little breakout rooms, and you're going to talk about what's inside of your closet, dentro de mi armario, inside my closet. Enfrente de mi casa, what's in front of my house. Detrás de mi casa, whatever is behind my house. So I want each person, when you go into the little groups later on, I want each person to use all those 3 things, okay? And you'll get different assignments of different things to use next week. Okay, so before you go into the harder exercise of speaking in smaller groups about what's in your closet, in front of your house, behind your house, we're going to do the easier sketch it thing. Here's what you're going to see. Ooh, can I make this bigger? Because I don't want to give it away. Tiene que imaginar okay.
What is imaginar?
Imaginar. Imagine.
Mm.
Tienen que imaginar un cuarto con nada. You gotta imagine a room with nothing.
Aquí tienes la
Quizás,
presentación.
una ventana. So sketch a little room. 1, 2, 3. Una ventana. Tenemos una ventana. Tenemos una ventana a la derecha. That's the only thing, so you got some spatial idea, okay? I am going to describe something to you. You will not see it later, but you will compare it to the information you sketch. And everything is relative to la ventana, ¿sí? La ventana, okay? So you should sketch your little ventana. La ventana está a la derecha. Bien. Bueno, vale. Primero, hay un sofá enfrente de la ventana. Hay una sofá delante de o enfrente de la ventana. Es una sofá grande. Hay 5 almohadas, pillows. Hay 5 almohadas encima del sofá. Hay 5 almohadas, cojines, cushions, encima del sofá. Muy bien. Hay una alfombra muy grande debajo del sofá. Hay una alfombra, rug. Hay una alfombra debajo del sofá. Bien. Bueno. Ahí hay un perrito. Un perrito. Guau, 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 guau. Hay un perrito durmiendo. Hay un perrito durmiendo sobre la alfombra. Sobre la alfombra.
What is burrito?
Un perrito. Un perrito.
Small dog.
Guau, 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 guau. Un perrito. Un perro. Un animal.
Oh,
Un animal. Rover es un perrito. ¿Sí? Ok. Bueno. Hay un estante, shelf. Hay un estante a la izquierda del sofá. Hay un estante a la izquierda del sofá. Hay un estante, shelf. ¿Sí? Bien. Hay muchos libros dentro del estante. Hay muchos libros dentro del estante. Hay muchos libros dentro del estante.
Sobre better?
Can I ask a question? How can you have books inside a shelf?
Because it's enclosed.
Ah,
Oh, a
You know,
shelf
when
is
it's got
enclosed?
sides on it.
Oh, okay.
Notice, I didn't say the shelf is on the wall.
I thought it was the estanteria.
Susana, if you look right behind you, you're going to see what kind of estante I mean. If you look right behind yourself where you're sitting, Susana, you'll see exactly what kind of shelf I mean. Okay.
I have a question.
Sí, dime.
You know, if I make a sentence like this, so this is the same meaning, right? Hay una taza de café junto a mi computadora, or I say la taza de café está junto a mi computadora.
Mi taza de café.
No, if I say this, I make two sentences. So these are, I think it's the same meaning, or it is not, or it's the same. I mean, it's different meaning. So one is hay una taza de café junto a mi computadora, and then the second one is la taza de café está junto a mi computadora.
Igual. Same thing.
Igual, sí. Okay. Thank you.
Sí, igual. Bien. Ok. Vale. Ok. Próxima cosa. Next thing. Encima. Sí. Encima del estante. Encima del estante. Hay dos plantas. Hay dos plantas encima del estante. Ok. A ver. Bueno, hay un escritorio, desk. Hay un escritorio a la izquierda del estante. O enfrente del sofá y la alfombra hay un escritorio. Un escritorio. Encima del escritorio hay una computadora. La computadora está encima del escritorio. Una lámpara está a la derecha del escritorio. Una lámpara está a la derecha del escritorio.
¿Y dónde está la escritoria?
El escritorio está
Frente del...
frente al
sofá.
sofá y la alfombra.
Carpet.
Sí. Hay una silla enfrente del escritorio. Hay una silla pequeña. Hay una silla pequeña enfrente del escritorio.
What's the second word?
Hay una silla pequeña. No es grande.
chair.
No es grande, es pequeña.
Okay, chair. Okay.
Una silla para una persona, no es sofá. Es una silla para una persona, ¿sí? ¿Bien? Ok. Y hay, hay libros. Los libros están debajo del escritorio. Los libros están debajo del escritorio. Okay, we're going to show you kind of, sort of what it should look like. This took me a while to do. I had to do cut and paste. Okay. Because porque no soy artista, because I am no artist. If I had to draw this by hand, I would be challenged.
Wow.
But see if you have things kind of in the right position. Yeah. Do you have things in the right place?
No, somewhat.
Yeah.
No es una. Yeah, not a real photo.
Yeah.
I wouldn't dare show you.
Were you saying that the desk and the chair and the computer is in front of the couch?
Yeah, it's kind of in front of, that's one that's kind of hard. It's across the room, isn't it? Yeah. A través del cuarto, it's across the room. And I didn't give you that word yet. So yeah, it's all kind of relative. Gracias. Gracias, Cindy. Okay. Puedo ver. Okay, so you should have things looking kind of, and I'll make this a little bit bigger so that you can, para que puedan ver. We'll make this a little bit bigger so you can see. See? Yeah? Aquí?
It was fun.
And
This
were you
is-
saying the shelf was to the left? I never heard the word left.
Yeah,
To the-
You were
I
saying
thought
the
it was-
shelf was, and shelf is also bookcase?
I
yeah,
thought it was-
yeah, shelf and bookcase, yeah.
Mhm.
I
But
thought
no-
it was to the left of the couch, and so I made it to the left of the couch.
Well, it is
Yeah.
kind, well, you know, you got to remember, spatially, I can only do so much with it.
Okay,
Because, yeah, as long as you're in the ballpark,
no,
Yeah.
I wasn't.
as long as you're, well, yeah, ballpark, there you go.
Good enough.
Okay, see, you know, yeah, I mean, I could do this. I mean, yeah, I'm limited to my cut and paste abilities, folks, so. Okay, okay, see, Bill, Bill,
Yes, how would you describe the size of the rug that is before the sofa?
Would be under the
es
sofa.
una alfombra
Una
grande. Sí, es
alfombra
una
grande.
alfombra grande, sí.
But in
No,
not in
no
terms of,
cubre, no cubre todo el cuarto. It doesn't cover the whole room. No, no cubre el suelo totalmente. No, no, no. Es una alfombra grande.
so if it was a 4x6 rug, then
You're an interior
Sí,
designer.
más o menos, más o menos. Sí, Bill, más o menos. De ese tamaño, yeah, that size. Bien, ok, vale, pero entienden, ¿no? Okay, so you get the idea. So, you know, listening comprehension, I want this, the reason for doing this was so that you would, you know, get más o menos, more or less the right spatial area. Okay, so that I'm seeing that you can visualize those words that you hear somebody say, because so often you're not going to read it in a book, you'll hear somebody saying it. Okay, I want to send you off into Zoom rooms.
But
You're going to be, sí,
there's
perdón.
one question, sorry. This
No,
is
no,
quick
está
question. You say there's una silla pequeña. Why you have to mention pequeña? Because when I'm thinking about, when you're saying pequeña, it's like a small chair for little people, you know, so for kids. So why can we just say hay una silla?
You can just say es hay una silla, yes. I
Yes?
just don't, yeah, sí,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
está bien. Okay, a ver. I am going to create something to send out into the Zoom rooms with you really, really quickly here. And all of it is, I'll show you what it looks like. You're going to see this. I'm going to make this nice and big para que puedan ver so that you can see it. Okay, this is what you're going to be doing, and you will see this by the magic of Zoom. You will see this when you go into the breakout rooms. This is what I wanted you to be prepared to talk to people about. Pueden ver, can you see it?
Sí.
See, okay. So you're gonna talk about, and I should have underlined this, right? You're gonna use these dentro de, right? You're gonna talk about where general stuff is in your environment. That's all. And when you get into the Zoom room, you'll be able to see that as well as talking to your partners. Okay. Somos muchos. We got a lot of folks in here. I'm going to break this down, I think, into groups of 6, 6. A ver. 6. Let's see. Yeah, see. About groups of 6. And I'm going to try to jump into well, no, actually, I take that back. I do not think I can both jump into your rooms and share. So I'm going to send you out to talk about this, but so that you have plenty of time. You're going to be generally in groups of 3 or maybe 2. Okay. A ver. And when we come back, we'll see what kind of difficulties you might have had or celebrate what kind of success you had describing what's in your closet, in front of your house, behind your house, and next to your computer, okay? So the only thing you
with
really.
3. I've
Perdón?
got somebody working here, so put me with 3,
Uh-oh,
please. Por favor.
okay, a ver, now I gotta find you. Nora, you gave me a hard thing to do. Oh, you're in 3, okay. Sí, you're in a 3Z
Bueno.
group. Okay, bueno, bien. Okay, so you're gonna see the little prompt when you go into the room, but do hit the join button now to get into your groups. Bien. Excelente. Excelente. Aquí vuelven todos. Everybody coming back in. We just have a few more people left to join back in. A few people finishing up. And then they will be back with us all. Okay. 15 segundos. The countdown has started for that last batch of people to come back on in. They will be coming in soon, pronto. Okay, ¿cómo fue todo? How did it all go? Pretty well?
Okay.
Bien?
Bueno,
Bien?
Sí. Una
Okay.
pregunta.
I did have one
Okay.
question.
Preguntas, questions. from-
When I was trying to describe, which I did do this sentence, I was trying to describe the length of a stone wall that was in front of my house. If it's 20 feet, do you use PIES, pies?
Yes, sí.
So that's interchangeable with the anatomical as well as the measurements.
It is. And do be advised, of course, depending on where you
Meters.
travel or who you're talking to, they may, in different countries, the whole metric thing is very much, that's a real
Live.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Should be.
people may not use feet with you. You know, people from de Mexico, sí, quizás, maybe. Folks from Mexico, because of proximity, may, but they may be very metric with you. Metros, you know, they may use that. Okay. Sí. Otra pregunta. D, you got a
Metros
question?
is masculine?
Ma-
Oh, el pie, sí.
Más problema fue,
Was.
no sé muchas palabras para describir cosas.
Okay. Pero con tiempo, with time. ¿Sí? Con tiempo,
Sí,
with time. So, the way to get over that hump is, you know, really hit that Duolingo app or that www.duolingo.com. Yeah, get in there and like do a lot of vocab words. Sue White, tienes una pregunta.
For hard drives, computer hard drive, is it called Disco Duro? or
Disco duro, sí, disco
Okay.
duro, hard drive.
Okay.
Sí, hard drive para una computadora es disco duro. Sí, exacto. Muy bien,
Okay,
muy
gracias.
bien. Bueno, a ver, Trish primero y entonces Bill.
You might have covered this, but when you use Sobre, is it always by itself or do you have Sobre
It's
off?
always by itself. Yeah,
Okay.
Sobre is always by itself. Está muy solito. It's all by itself.
Okay, great, thank you.
Bill.
The word portátil for laptop,
Sí. Portátil.
portátil, portátil.
Portátil. I'm going to type it in the chat box so that you can see how it is spelled. Which, as you can probably see,
El portátil.
portátil. We have to hit the ta. Portátil. El portátil. Portátil es laptop. Okay, because it's a portable computer.
Portátil.
El portátil.
Ellen, someone wanted to use the word wash, the wash behind their house.
Oh, el arroyo.
Oh. How
El
obvious.
arroyo.
Arroyo.
The wash,
Sí,
el arroyo.
sí.
El arroyo.
How do you
El
spell that?
arroyo.
spell that?
Bueno, otra vez en chat box, sí. El arroyo. Yeah, an arroyo is a
Arroyo, oh.
wash.
How obvious.
And we have, qué obvio, qué obvio. Es una palabra prestada del español al inglés. This is a borrowed word from English to Spanish because of where we live. You know, you go al Canada, you go up to Canada, maybe not such a common word in Canada, right? But, you know, the further you get away from the desert, the less you probably hear that word. Most people absolutely know that word arroyo who live here, but yeah, other parts of the country, they may not know it quite so much. Okay.
Use the word cactus, cacto. Cacto. or cactus?
Cacto, cacto, sí,
Yeah.
cacto. Subai?
Okay, if I have two adjectives to describe an object, for example, una maceta grande azul. Do I say grande azul or azul grande, or does it matter?
There,
A big
sí.
blue pot.
grande y azul, grande y azul, grande y
Grande
azul.
y azul.
Y azul,
Grande
sí.
y azul.
That'll probably be a good thing for us to talk about in a later class when you pair up a bunch of adjectives. Sí. Okay, otras preguntas. Sí, Catherine.
Is it okay to say, like if I'm saying the pool is behind my house or behind my house is the pool, do I have to say está or can I say es la piscina?
Qué buena pregunta. Siempre, siempre está.
Why?
Why? Oh, sí. Bien, okay. Bien.
The location.
Estar is used to indicate location. Placement. Ubicación, placement. La piscina está detrás de mi casa. The pool is behind my house. El árbol está detrás de la piscina. The tree is behind that. Now, this is a little tiny thing, and this is muy avanzado. This is very advanced. Once in a while, you'll hear people use es with location, but only in a really specific situation. If you talk about an event that takes place, and the meaning must be an event, a thing that happens, you can use es. In fact, you must use es. Okay, por ejemplo, but this is really specific, and it is not for a tourist. It will not be a common usage. And this is why you don't hear it practiced very much. Okay, if I want to say, hey, the wedding, somebody walks up into a big hotel, they want to know where the wedding is. There are a bunch of rooms in this big hotel complex. They will not ask, ¿Dónde está la boda? La boda, the wedding, is not a thing. It is not a thing. La boda is an event. It's happening, right? ¿Dónde es la boda? Where is the wedding? Because it's an event. It will use es, but only for events. Do you use es? Everything else for location will always be está.
Thank you.
The only way I can use es to say location is for an event.
Oh, I never knew that.
La boda es en el salón principal. The wedding is in the main conference room, the main reception room.
Right.
Okay, only for an event. Boda, fiesta, accidente, that's an event. Incendio, a fire is an event, a bad one, but yeah.
Una pregunta.
Sí, dime.
If you were asking about a destination wedding, would that be different?
Ooh, no.
No.
No. Boda, it's still an event.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gracias.
See, because would you say it takes place in? Therefore, it would be es. But you would never say the pool takes place in.
No.
Yeah. You would never say the patio takes place in. It's a thing that's got a fixed location. Yeah. Okay. Bien. Buenas preguntas. Good questions. Okay. A ver. Okay, I'm running short on time. Wow, I was gonna squeeze one extra thing in. Okay, bien. We're gonna tackle, I'm gonna give you, just like you had these 4 things, I'm gonna give you 4 different prepositions to use next week. So your assignment, and it will come in the email this afternoon. It will use not dentro or enfrente or detrás de or al lado de. It'll use other prepositions. So you practice other prepositions, okay? And again, you're going to talk about things in your environment, maybe your office, maybe your house. Okay. Bien. And you'll be describing in small groups like you did today. ¿Está bien? Okay. Pero descripciones personales, we want to make them personal to you, that they mean something to you. Okay. Bien. So I'll send you the new prepositions, not dentro, enfrente, detrás, and al lado, but different ones. 4, habrá 4, there will be 4. And I'll have you prep that next week. So again, your good friend, when you need extra vocabulary, como dice, when you need extra.
One last
Sí, sí, sí.
Do we use ropa or for lot of ropas?
Just ropa. Buena pregunta. When we refer to clothing, it is always a singular word, ropa. It only is plural if you have specific articles of clothing, like camisas, shirts, or bufandas, scarves, right? Or pantalones, right? Yeah, pants, zapatos, shoes, chaquetas, jackets, okay? But the word clothing, that general word, it never becomes a plural word. Okay, never, ever, ever. If you say ropas to people, that will give a little giggle because that sounds very funny to them. Okay, will they understand what you mean? Yes, but will it sound weird? Yeah, it'll sound weird to them.
Or if you say mucha?
Mucha ropa, lots of clothes. Yeah, mucha ropa. Bien, es así, it's like that. Sí, bien. Okay. Bueno.
Usted tengo o no, tiene mucho bonita scarf.
Oh, sí, gracias, sí. Tengo muchas bufandas. Me gustan las bufandas. Me encantan las bufandas.
Oh, me gusta.
Y me gustan las bufandas. Okay, bien. Bueno, so that was going to be part of your homework. Another part of your homework is going to be to listen to a video about the words here and there, because sadly, this is going to be complicado. I'll send you a worksheet that will use it. Yeah, this is going to be complicated. And it's complicated because Spanish uses more words to express the ideas of here and there. It's more like here, around here, there, and over there. Oh, shoot. I'm going to show you a really brief thing that is super helpful. It won't feel helpful right now. Well, it will. Yes, it will. Otherwise, I wouldn't show it. But I'm not going to send you the link to this video for a reason, because they're going to use some complicated, hang on, I've got to nix my thing and let them go ahead a little bit. They're going to use some complicated vocabulary. And, I'm trying to find the right thing here. But you're going to see things with the hands. I got to get the right spot in this video. Okay, I'm going to pause it here for a moment just so you can see this. These are the words you're going to be practicing. And you're going to hear a whole video that you will listen to the whole video. They're going to be talking about aquí, ahí, ahí. And that H, silencio. No se pronuncia. You do not pronounce the H in ahí. Aquí, ahí, allí, acá, allá. Oh my God, why are there so many words? And you may hear any of those. And we're talking about these because these are prepositions of place. And here's the other little nasty, nasty truth I'm going to tell you. Depending on who you're talking to and what region they live in, those words will mean different things. Oh my God, my head hurts already. Okay, but I'm trying to get to the right place in here. Oh, and I didn't want to do that at all. Okay.
Aquí, ahí y allí. Acá y allá.
You're not
son
going to probably
adverbios de
listen to
lugar.
this
Pero
whole
¿por qué es
thing?
importante que conozcas
I'll give you the
estos
link.
adverbios? Bueno, pues a pesar de que son...
I want you to watch what
Entonces, como dijo...
El Flaco, the skinny guy. I want you to watch what he does with his hands. And I think he does it right here. Because actually what he does with the hands, believe it or not, is helpful.
Diego, estos son adverbios de lugar. Y vamos a empezar con aquí, que puede ser traducido como here. En segundo plano tenemos ahí, que puede ser there. Pero también tenemos...
But ahí isn't like really far off. All these words are relative. That's why they're confusing.
allí, que puede ser over there.
And I wouldn't even say allí is over there. I would just say there, but a bit further, because over there is really that allá thing.
Veamos algunos ejemplos. Aquí
Watch his hands.
está el micrófono. Ahí están las películas de Diego.
Ahí isn't that far away.
¿Qué películas? Las de terror. Ah, ok. Ok. Apenas
la captaste,
Ya,
apenas la captaste.
Apenas entendí. Allí está el cuadro de su familia.
There, it's further off.
Ujú. Dicho en otras
Cuatro.
palabras,
Okay.
aquí es algo que
Cuatro.
puedes
Watch his
alcanzar
hands.
y que
Aquí.
ves. Ahí puede ser ahí, ¿ok?
That hand motion means everything, guys. That tells you what it is. Is it vague? Yep, it's vague. But that hand motion tells you what
Pero
allí
allí
means.
es algo que
That's what allí is. Aquí, ahí, ahí. That tells it all. Oh, is that sad? It is sad. Is that confusing? Yes, it is. But I'm going to give you, actually, I'll give you the link for this so that you can just play with it, but don't expect, some of you may understand more of it than others, but do know that they use complicated things. There's going to be an easy video. And the reason I'm going to give you that one for homework about these words about here and there is that he right up front, as an English speaker, a native English speaker, tells you right up front, people who live in Spanish countries don't agree on these words.
Oh,
Thank you very much. People who live in Spanish-speaking countries who are native speakers do not agree on the exact meaning of these words. So these are very relative. However, they will throw them out. And the hand motion that our little friend, I think Efrain, that he shows you actually means something. And that is really what you should take to heart with that. So you're going to get the long video, just watch the hand motions. The other one, which is going to have Danny in it, who's going to explain the real lowdown on these words. And also you'll get a little worksheet on it. ¿Está bien? Good? And then you'll have different prepositions to come in and talk about next week. ¿Está bien?
Thank you.
Okay, ¿alguna pregunta? Any question before we sign off for today? ¿Sí o no?
No.
No, nada. And these are words, you know, you really have to take them in small groups because if you don't, it'll drive you crazy. So, okay. You'll have different things to practice for next week. Nos vemos el lunes. Que tengan buena semana. Have a good week, everybody.